Sean may start the season on the PUP list. Can you comment on the validity of that?
You know what? We didn't. I'm not going to comment on it because we're still obviously we're just we're monitoring his progress. It's day to day. We're happy where he's at, and we'll continue to do that. But I'm not sure where that came from.
Now that Nelson's been out, why is he out?
Nelson has he's got a little lower body. Needs a little rest on it. So we're going to give him that rest again and get him ready for week 1.
What's the timetable?
I just said week 1. Yeah. See? You don't even pay attention.
No, I put. You said you're getting ready for week 1. Does that mean it's not going to be
Timetable then.
How about Corey?
Corey. Oh, same thing. Lower body. Just give him day to day some rest, much needed, and he's one of those guys. Both of those guys, also play special teams. So right now, just want to make sure they're healthy for week 1.
Nick's been getting a lot of work this week leading up to the game. Do you expect him to play on Thursday?
I do expect him to get in the game, and for how long I don't know, but I do expect him to get a few plays in this game.
Humphrey was having a good camp before he got hurt. Probably going to miss a second straight game here. How tough is this for a guy that needs to make this roster, needs to play to make the roster?
Well, it is tough. It's tough from the standpoint of you're not getting the practice reps you need, and obviously the game reps, and being exposed to not only our roster but 31 other teams who are watching our games. So it's each day is a little bit of a missed opportunity, but he's got to get himself healthy and try to get himself back here as soon as he can.
Looked like Mills disappeared at some point during practice. I didn't see what happened to him.
I got to talk to Jerome and the guys after we're done here and find out exactly what went on.
Came pretty late in came pretty late in the process. It looked like he had a little bit of stumbles in the beginning, but has smoothed it out. What have you seen from him in the group?
Yeah, Kamar's really done a nice job. Again, this is a guy that's kind of a bigger receiver. He's physical. He's smart. He's a really good route runner. Strong to the ball. All the things you want. And has done a nice job. He's come in and he's accepted the role, whether it's mixing with the first unit or the second unit. Excited to see where he's at. In a couple of weeks.
Doug, on Christian Hackenberg bringing him in, I know one of the things John Gruden said when they released him, it's just not enough reps to go around. You being here pre-2011 CBA coach, how difficult is it to get those reps for a young developmental quarterback?
It's a fine line. It's hard. But because you're trying to get your starters ready for opening day and obviously the preseason games, but you also get into camp. There's a lot of throws to go around and individual work, some of the team stuff. So we try to spread it out as much as we can to give everybody some opportunities, whether we're servicing the defense like we did today, and he got some snaps in there, or actually taking some offensive reps, which he also did. We just got to continue to sprinkle him in and see where he's at, see what he knows, and it just alleviates all the pressure on everybody's arm, especially this time of camp when they've had a lot of throws.
Hey, Doug Pederson, I mentioned that after this practice week that things will be reevaluated with him. Just curious what kind of goes into that, and is this kind of a significant moment in determining what's next?
Yeah, we'll sit down after this game, obviously, and get together with our medical team, Dr. Dotson and Jerome, and we'll discuss the next step, in his progression. And I'm excited to see where he's at health-wise. He's done a nice job out here already, in these last couple of weeks. So I'll be curious to see where it goes from here.
What's the value? Is there a value in having quarterbacks play during preseason games? It seems like teams have kind of been holding their quarterbacks out more as the years have gone on.
Are you referring to starters?
Yes.
Yeah, I think. I can't speak for other teams and how they do things, but I feel it's important that the starter still maintains timing and rhythm and just getting in the game action, getting in that environment with crowd noise, another team, games a little faster, and just staying sharp, from the quarterback's perspective. So that's what we try to do with our guys, our starters here. So I do think it's important that our guys do play leading up to week 1.
How soon does Carson have to be in 11 on 11 out here to be ready for week 1?
I mean, I think if you're hypothetically, which you know me, I don't get into hypotheticals. I think that you would want at least obviously a full week, a full week of preparation. You would love to have more, and those are things we'll evaluate come this weekend.
On the radio this morning, he thinks it's going to be close as to whether he's going to be in there week 1 or not. Is that how you view it?
I mean, again, I'm gonna take it day by day. I'm gonna evaluate it this weekend. I'm gonna see where he's at. Medically, I'm gonna see where he's at because I'm gonna trust our doctors, and we'll make a decision at some point.
Throughout camp, you've missed your top receivers at different times. This could be the second preseason game where you're down some of those top guys. What's the challenge in developing that rhythm when you don't have those guys in the field?
Well, that's the challenge. I mean, you're just missing the timing, you're missing the rhythm, you're missing, big play capabilities potentially in these games. And, even though starters don't play a whole lot, in the first couple games, it's just still valuable reps. So something we got to work through. Obviously, get our twos and even some of the threes ready to go in case we need them. I expect Brandon Graham to continue his his rehab, his progression. He's another one that we'll evaluate this weekend, see where he's at, and we'll go from there. All right. Thanks, guys.
Josh Adams.
What happened,
Yep, rained last time. It's good.
All right, we'll take questions.
Nick, how much work do you expect to get in Thursday?
Whatever coach decides, whatever he decides, he'll make a judgment call on that, and we're just going to go out there and play.
How familiar are you with the opponent?
Pretty familiar with the opponent. Obviously, it's a new season, some new personnel. Everyone's installing different things at different times, so it'll be fun just to be back on the field. Obviously, it's the last team we played, but just be excited to go up there and compete against them.
Have you talked to Tom Brady since this was
No, I haven't. We both have a lot going on in our lives, so in time. I have no idea. I'll find out when I get there what it's going to be like, so no clue.
Would you hope that this time around he comes up to you and maybe chats with you after the game about the Super Bowl or this current game coming up?
It'll happen when it happens. I mean, we practiced with the Patriots several years ago, and I got to, stand there and talk to Tom for quite a bit. He's a great guy. I mean, I have all the respect in the world for him. I think everyone's making a really big deal out of this, and it's not a big deal at all. I've already talked to him before. He's a guy I've always looked up to. You got to admire someone who's probably the greatest ever, and still going strong at, even at his age, he seems to get better and better. So I've already had conversation with him before when we practice. So if we have one in the future, we'll have one. It'll be cool.
The fact that you are playing the Patriots this week, has it brought any memories kind of up to the surface?
Not really. I mean, we're in training camp right now. We're grinding through it. We're growing as a team. We have new players. Guys rotating in and out. We're fine-tuning our offense. So, you stay pretty busy throughout the day. Now that we're getting closer to game time, now we'll be honing in on, who they are, what they do, what coverages they like, what they like to do with defense. But, not any reminiscing. This is a new season, new people, new players. Obviously, we wear the same logos as last year, but, we both have a new identity that we have to, this is a time of year where we grow together as teams. So that's all I'm really focusing on.
What do you want to get out of the time of your week?
I think just stepping back on the field, stepping in the huddle. Obviously, you want to be clean in your execution, but for me, it's just the feel of the game. You're going to get emotions. You got to get back up to speed. Just being out there in a stadium, playing against an opponent, just feeling those emotions again, and just getting the feel for the game. Because we come out here and practice and compete every day, but game day is a little different. There's a lot more on the line. You're playing against a different opponent. For us, a different defense than we're used to seeing in practice. So just stepping out there, stepping in the huddle, and just playing a game and getting that feel again.
Nick, what have you seen from Shelton Gibson, the way he's improved, or what's different maybe from last year to this year for him?
Yeah, Gibby does a great job of coming out here every day and working on his craft. Obviously, we saw in the game his speed and what he can do with his routes. He's a dynamic player. I think every day he's come to work, and he's come a long way since he started as a rookie. So it's been awesome to see that progression.
It's been a week now without Nelson, 3 weeks without Alshon. As a quarterback, how do you compensate for the lack of time with your top receivers?
As a quarterback, I have great relationships, with AJ and Nelly. We continue to talk. We play ball together now. We understand how, they understand how I throw it. They understand how Carson throws it, how Nate throws it, and I understand how they run routes and what they see. I think at practice, the important thing is, we might be running it with other guys because we're trying to bring the younger guys up, or the newer guys, Mike Wallace, Aiken, just trying to help them in our offense and what we see. So there's a lot of talking, but then there's also talking, with Nelly and Alshon, and what, having them help the other receivers. So there's a lot of collaboration, and I think that's the key to any team is communication. So we have a lot of that going on. That helps us when those guys get healthy. We'll be on the same page. Obviously, they'll have to get their legs under them and running routes and playing the game in the field. But I think when it comes to our mental state, we understand each other as players.
Mike Wallace, it seems like he's really come on the last week or so. Is it a matter of just more reps and getting comfortable in the offense, or what are you seeing from him?
Yeah, it just takes time. You come to a new team, you have new offense, new scheme, new players, new defense, new city. There's a lot of things that go on, so it does take a little time, but Mike, he's another guy. We just continue to talk. We continue to have conversations. You saw an example today at practice. A 10-10-10 practice, we're still getting a lot of great work, but it's a little different practice. There's a play earlier in practice where he's like, hey, I can beat the guy deep. And I was like, hey, just keep talking to me. We ran a play that was very similar to it later, and I threw it. And that's where the growth's going. We continue to talk. I want to know what the receivers see. At the end of the day, I'm going to have to make the decision, but it helps me if I'm looking right and I can't see what's going on over here to know what they see, so I have a better understanding later. And I think that every day we grow in that aspect. There's a lot more conversations going on, and I think you see it out here with how the receivers are starting to play and the growth they've made.
It's also going to be a new sort of game day dichotomy for you with Press and Mike. Is that one of the most important things, see how that communication works for the first time?
Yeah, I think as a player, obviously last game it was our first experience with it all, and it was great. Talking with Mike on the sideline, and then Press on the phone. So I think that yeah, absolutely. That's why these games are great. It's different. It is going to be different. It's different people, but I think this is a great time for us to grow together and experience this right now.
With Darren back, and you got Dallas here now, and some of the new wide receivers. Do you expect to have some added dimension on that offense just in general?
What was the last part?
With all the new guys you have here, tight end, and with Darren back in the offense, do you expect to have just a little bit more dimension in the offense this year in general?
Yeah, I mean, last year we were very diverse as well. I think our coaches do a great job of building the offense around the players. Instead of saying, this is the offense, you're going to fit it and run it, they're saying, hey, we have a large database of plays, let's fit it to our personnel. So our coaches do do the best job I've seen at doing that. And, we have a lot of personnel, as you stated. And we're going to use them in different ways. That's what good teams do. And as a quarterback, you get really excited about that because you do have great matchups because of the personnel we do have. So I'm excited to see what, going in, progressing through the preseason, getting ready for the regular season, what our coaches come up with.
Take a couple more, and then Carson's going to be right up.
Do you have any sense of how much work or time you need during the preseason to get ready for week one? Like, do you need to play in 1 or 2 games, or do you have to play so many snaps? Like, do you have any sense of what it takes for you to be ready?
I don't have like a mathematical formula. For me, it's always more feel. Like you'll know as a player, like when you start feeling more comfortable. Fortunately, I'm in. Sometimes when you go to a new team, you need a little more time, just because you're running a new offense. So fortunately here, this is my second year in the system. We're growing every day at practice. My hope is go out there, just get the feel for the game and go. And I'm gonna let Coach Pederson make that decision. If he wants us to play however long, we'll play however long. We're out there playing. We're together. We'll be in that huddle, and that's what we do.
As we get closer to the start of the season, does it get harder not knowing what your role is going to be week one?
No, it doesn't. I know, like I've said, like who I am as a player in person. I know why I'm here. I think the most important is I know why. I'm very fortunate to play this game. I'm very blessed to be here. Obviously, it's a very unique situation. My career path has been talked about as a unique curve. But at the end of the day, I love the guys I work with. I love the coaches. And the guys know in this locker room that whatever this team asks of me, I'm going to give it. And if I'm not playing, I'm going to help in any way possible. If that's running the scout team, I'll run the scout team and give the defense the best look possible and be there to support the starters. So that's how I approach this game, and that's why I come out here and I can play loose and enjoy every moment.
Last back to Mike Wallace, you mentioned that he said, I can go deep on this guy. The book on him was, when he got here, speed. He's 10 years in. Still have that speed?
Yeah. Yes. He does.
All right.
Thank you for elaborating.
Carson, for you personally, just with all the circumstances in this training camp, what do you take away from this training camp?
Yeah, personally, obviously, I didn't quite get as much practice as I would like to have in camp and everything, but I feel good. I feel good physically. I feel like my knees feeling good, arms feeling good. Come out feeling kind of ready to go a little bit, and as a team, it's kind of a normal camp. Kind of up and down. Some days the offense gets the best of the defense, and vice versa. And almost start to get tired of seeing the same guys over and over, playing the same guys. So I know we're excited to kind of go into the next phase and be done with camp.
Do you learn anything about yourself, like having to not be
Yeah, I think throughout this whole injury, I've learned a lot about myself and just how to just surrender control, that I'm not in control of everything. I can't control everything. The Lord has really all of that laid out before him. And so I've really learned a lot about myself and how to be patient and really just surrender everything to the Lord's will and not my own.
You talked to us last week. You said you'll reevaluate things after that second game. What are you anticipating happening after Thursday night?
Yeah, I think right now the plan is hopefully next week we can progress back into 11 on 11 and everything, and so that is the plan going forward. And then again, it'll just be constant communication with coaches and doctors as we progress.
You said this morning on the radio that it's going to be close for week one. Has the sentiment changed at all? Is that what you felt back when camp started?
Yeah, I mean that's what I felt really all offseason. Like we've talked about a ton. That's been my goal. I think there's been really no secret that it's going to be close. I mean, seeing where I'm at in camp and finally, hopefully next week doing 11 on 11, I think naturally it's going to be close. And ultimately, it won't be just my call or coach's call. It'll come down to what the doctors say, really.
Doug said he wants to see you in 11 on 11. Ideally, a week before you play that first game. If you start next week, what are you looking to show him once you get back in those teams?
Yeah, I think hopefully just show them that I look comfortable. I look confident, and I know I will. That's just kind of in what the reps I have gotten, and even 7 on and everything. I mean, I feel confident in both my knee and just this team and the offense and everything. So hopefully I can just kind of jump right back into where I left off.
Is the idea? You didn't have a lot of reps then, too, with that injury. What was it then? And can you function that way without necessarily a lot?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, the more reps, the merrier. But like you said, rookie year, that was an even whole other animal, not even knowing I was starting and everything. So, but yeah, obviously missing reps, just got to go with it. And so whatever the case is, I know I'll be ready, whatever comes.
The idea that you would be cleared for contact in your next evaluation, which would allow you to do the 11 on 11s.
So no, that's the last hurdle is still going to be being cleared for contact. Obviously in practice we'll still be wearing the red jersey, so there will be no contact for the quarterbacks and everything. But again, it's getting close, and we're going to be close.
Well, I mean, you've gone 3 weeks now without throwing Alshon, at least in practice. Nelson's been gone for a week. Is this a concern for you that you're not having your receivers out there?
I wouldn't say a concern. Obviously, you'd love to get reps with those guys, and with Alshon, kind of him still working back from his injury, and now Nelly just banged up and everything. The more work you can get, the better. But I think we've developed chemistry over really last offseason, all of last season, and even a little bit just constantly watching film and talking through things together. That I think we'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it, but like you said, I mean, we'd love to get more reps.
Carson, you do have Mike back, and he's talking to him. He said, one of the reasons he signed here was you and what you guys can be. He's been around, played for a number of teams, 10 years in the league. When you hear that, what does that make you think? And then what kind of addition does he bring to this offense?
Yeah, I think it's humbling. First of all, I think it speaks a lot about the coaching staff and the guys we have here, and the capability that he sees in this offense and the potential. And then what he adds to the offense, obviously, is his speed. I mean, you see him out there. He's at a different gear. He can roll, and obviously missing a couple practices last week. It's good to get him back out here and kind of see what he can do against our DBs and everything. And we're excited about what he can add to this offense.
Carson, if it's going to be close, what's your understanding for what the determining factors are going to be to whether it goes one way or another?
Yeah, I mean, it's a constant communication. I mean, we'll see how the 11 on 11 goes and everything, but ultimately it's not my call. It's going to be the doctors, so maybe we'll have to interview the docs and ask them.
Are you any more or less optimistic about it than you were when camp started?
Been about the same. I've been the whole time just it's going to be close. I knew I was going to just worry about it each day, getting better each day, and making sure physically my knee was solid each and every day. So trying not to play the what-if game and predict the future because it's out of my control. But I feel about the same as I did early on.
How's the knee responded today?
Again?
How's the knee responded after practice?
It felt great. Honestly, it's felt great. I mean, throughout the offseason of rehab, once camp hits, you kind of up in the amount of work. Obviously, you don't see me in 11 on 11, but sometimes I'm on the other field getting extra work in. And so definitely increased the workload, and the knees responded great.
Doug said you guys have data on your kind of velocity and stuff that they're able to track. Do you keep an eye on that stuff or pay attention to it?
I have not. I don't even know. I just know I just go by how I feel, and I feel good. Arm feels good.
Into the draft with Hackenberg, is he someone you maintain a relationship with, and what do you think of him tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously bringing in Christian is another solid guy. You know, coming out with him, kind of knowing him a little bit, not super well. You know, throughout the process, it's combine. Everyone's just kind of running a million miles an hour. So, got a chance to talk to him throughout a little bit, and now just good to see him here. And you know, the more talent we feel we can have, the better.
Carson, from a personal standpoint, obviously you have to surrender the control to the doctors, as you said, but is the most positive part for you the fact that you've been able to be out here every day and there hasn't been swelling that maybe took you off the field for a day here and there?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a very positive sign just seeing that I have been able to be out here for every practice, that my knees responded well each day. Obviously not getting the reps I would like because of the, you know, just where we're at, but the positive is how it has responded, and it's not just practice, it's things we're doing in the weight room, it's things we're doing in the training room, and things have been going well.
Good. Thanks, Carson.
Thanks, guys.